So you know you should be exercising. I mean, the mental and physical benefits are phenomenal. And despite all that, you can't quite get off the couch and start exercising. It's okay. Here's what you need to do to get yourself exercising and sticking to it. So starting is often the biggest barrier to exercising. So if we can tackle that starting phase of preparing to exercise, then we're more likely to be able to exercise more frequently and be able to stick to it. In order to start exercising, we need to reduce our activation energy to make exercising a lot easier and a more automatic process. What is activation energy? Activation energy is the minimum amount of energy that must be available for a chemical reaction. Nothing will happen until this particular amount of energy is released. And as you can see on this graph that I borrowed from James Clear from Atomic Habits, the y-axis is the amount of energy required and the x-axis is the reaction progress. So as you can see on the thick line, at the highest point is the amount of energy we need in order for a reaction, such as us starting our exercising, to occur. In order to reduce this activation energy, we need a catalyst. And the best way to do this is by changing your environment. Leaving shoes by the door, or have your outfit laid out, or pack your gym bag the day before. Or you might want to look at it by removing what it is that is interfering. So have you got an exercise schedule booked that might be during peak hour time, and that actual experience of being in peak hour might be reducing your motivation to actually go and exercise? If so, we need to remove those things to reduce our activation energy. Now, the next thing to consider is willpower. Willpower is the ability to resist short-term temptation in order to meet long-term goals. Research has shown that willpower depletes throughout the day. And you are making many decisions involving willpower throughout your day, even though you may not realize it. For example, when you choose to eat a healthy snack over that choc chip biscuit that you really wanted to eat, you are exerting willpower. When you decide to stop scrolling and go and finish that assignment, even though you really want to be scrolling, you are exerting willpower. Research has shown that all this exertion of willpower takes a mental toll and that your willpower will deplete over time. So it's no wonder when it comes time to deciding whether you're going to go and exercise or you're going to sit on the couch, you're more likely to choose to sit on the couch. So how can we bolster our willpower and get us exercising? Avoiding temptation. Have you ever heard of the idea of out of sight, out of mind? Well, that's exactly what you need to practice. So we know our willpower depletes. So if we can remove as many temptations, we have more energy to choose to go out and exercise, and we're more likely to stick to it. If you have books or computer games or your phone that might be deterring you from actually choosing to exercise, put those away when it's time to exercise. And don't worry if you believe that you don't have any willpower. Think of willpower as like a muscle. It can be worked to get better. So scientists from the Macquarie University in Sydney have also shown that exercising willpower along with physical exercise led to stronger willpower in all aspects of people's lives. It's also been shown that meditation can help improve self-control and therefore help in your willpower. Now, have you ever heard of Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule? Not the 5-second rule where you can drop food on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds and it's still edible. Mel Robbins came up with the 5-second rule to launch us into a state of action. If you don't start doing the things you don't feel like doing, you will wake up 1 year from today and be in exactly the same place. So the idea is, if you have an impulse to act on a goal, you have exactly 5 seconds to begin to move, otherwise your brain will kill the idea. So when it comes to deciding whether you're going to put on those shoes and go and exercise or not, give yourself 5 seconds. Count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then move. So the next thing you need is a goal. Setting a goal will give you direction on where you want to go and what you want to achieve. And it's incredibly motivating. So you may have a goal of doing 100 push-ups. Imagine what it's like once you get there. But the problem is there's a lot of energy required to get to 100 push-ups, but not as much energy to get to 10 push-ups. Do you see what I'm getting at? You can have an amazing big picture goal, but you're not going to get there unless you break that down into smaller, achievable steps. When you break your goals down into smaller steps, there's less activation energy required to achieve that smaller step. And when you achieve it, you're a lot more motivated to take the next step forward. And soon enough, you'll end up finding that you're closer and closer to that larger goal. A really important thing with goal setting is to not be so harsh on yourself. I'm sure you're going to miss 1 or 2 days of exercise as you work on your goals, and that is okay. What's important is to get back on the horse and get exercising again. The next thing that I recommend that will really get you to stick to exercising is to find something that you really enjoy doing. There's no point in going to an aerobics class or going on a 10K run when you actually hate doing those things. You're more likely to leave the house and exercise when it's something that you really enjoy. So for example, go and play tennis or go for a swim or learn a new skill. So find something that excites you and motivates you to get you up and going because you're more likely to stick to it. An accountability partner is really going to help you stick to exercising. Now, it's really important to find someone that's not going to take your excuses for not exercising and who's going to really push you and motivate you to get out there and start. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is to focus on your why. Why is it that you want to exercise? Do you want to get off medication? Do you want to fit into some new clothes that you've bought? Whatever it is, return back to the why every time you decide not to step out and exercise. This reminder will hopefully leave you with motivation to get out there and stick with exercising. And also, once you decide to exercise, make it a priority. Schedule around your exercise routine and don't just try and fit in the exercise into your daily schedule. When you prioritize exercising, you're more likely to go out there and stick to it because you've actually allocated the time and space to be able to achieve your goals. And that's a wrap with all the tips that I have for you on starting to exercise and sticking with it. So let me know in the comments below, did you take on any of these tips? How are you going with your exercising goals and have you actually managed to stick with it? And also don't forget to subscribe if you like more videos like this. Bye.